Yeah? Is that rojo? Double L? Okay, sweet. No, back this way. Right. So, in the beginning of the videos, you'll see some technical difficulties because we have a new camera girl. Manita. Come, rapido. Say hi. Hi. You say, okay. Yeah. Because Nelson isn't here on the weekends, so I'm using my niece as the camera girl. Anyway, so we're here to talk about, I want to answer this question. Do you pay taxes? Now, you get this question a lot, if you pay taxes.
Yes.
I get this question a lot, and I don't know. First of all, the reason why I don't speak about taxes is because I use a CPA, and because I'm not
What's a CPA?
Chartered something accountant.
Okay, so an accountant.
Right? Public accountant, that's it. And he does whatever he can for me to pay as least taxes as possible. The fact that I'm not a US citizen but a US resident and have a corporation in the US, I get away with a lot of stuff that US citizens don't get away with. And because a lot of you guys watch the channel and live inside and outside the US and sell in the US and sell in the UK, I don't answer the question. So I'm guessing because I don't give tax advice, that's why people ask if I pay taxes. Now, yeah. I don't want to answer that yet, but why do you think you get that question?
Because people, I don't know, but I think people are either assuming that I'm not paying taxes or are trying to work out whether they need to pay taxes.
Like they're trying to get away with paying taxes.
No, they just...
not paying taxes.
But they just don't know if they need to be.
Okay, so
everyone will ask for different reasons, but I think some people are like, do I need to pay taxes? Are you paying taxes? Do I need to pay taxes? Like, I think that's why people ask. So
let me tell you a secret. You have to pay taxes. Whether this is income tax, if you collect sales tax.
In no universe would you not have to pay taxes.
Some of us pay more taxes than others, some of us pay less taxes than others.
And whether you live in the country you're selling in, outside the country you're selling in, you have to pay taxes. The other thing that really worries me is that maybe it might be like a translation issue in the way people are asking, but it seems that some people think that you pay taxes to eBay because they're like, does eBay charge you sales tax, or do you have to pay sales tax to eBay once you get over the threshold? And it's like, eBay taxes are always paid to the government.
Right.
Always.
Like eBay takes their fees. No, you have to keep en un posición no puede ser. Yeah. eBay pays its fees. eBay takes its fucking fees. They charge you for the store. They charge you 5 to 10% on final value fee. Yeah. So eBay gets their fucking money.
The confusion might be, so in the UK, you then pay VAT tax on your fees. So if your fees are 10%, you then pay 20% of that. Some people, but because eBay collects it, people think eBay gets an extra 20%, but they give that directly to the government. It is for the government. They're collecting it on behalf of the government. And if you charge sales tax, that's what you're doing too. You're collecting tax from your customer. You're going to give it to the government.
Right, like not all governments, but most governments' business is to collect fucking taxes.
Yeah.
And you don't want to, like, try to circumvent that. If you are trying to circumvent that, try to do it legally.
What's circumvent mean?
Like, get around it.
People aren't gonna know what it means.
I don't know why I know the word circumvent. My English is pretty fucking bad. I know, yeah, oh shit. So, what was I saying? Right, so yeah, if you're trying to get around it, get the advice from, like, this video is not to give you tax advice. No. It's just some more talk about the fact that we do fucking pay taxes, right?
You have to, and if you have no idea about how much you need to pay, when you need to pay, you need an accountant. Like, you really, really need. So I don't have an accountant. That's another question I get. Do you have an accountant? I don't have an accountant because I know how I need to pay my taxes, when I need to pay my taxes, and how to work out how much taxes I need to pay. So I don't need an accountant. If you don't know all of that stuff, you need an accountant. I intend to get an accountant once I have to be VAT registered because that's more complicated, and I could figure out how to do it, but it would be a lot of time wasted, and I don't want to go to jail for not paying my taxes correctly. But if you basically have no idea, you need an accountant.
And I want to bring up the UK taxes, because you brought it up this morning. I think, just from a short conversation I had with Becky, I suspect that the UK are a lot stricter on collecting taxes than the IRS, right? Just because, like, I was audited about 3 or 4 years ago in the US, and everything was fine, right?
Yeah.
But it took making like hundreds of thousands of dollars for them to be like, and this is not even just, so when I got audited, this was partially on the beginning of my drop shipping and the other businesses I had before.
Yeah.
So it took a long time for them to be like, okay, this dude now does not live in the US at all. He's paying a lot less taxes now. Let's make sure that, like,
he's doing it all about.
Right, because
and
US
when you say
citizens,
hundreds and thousands, do you mean profit or sales?
No, sales.
Okay. Okay.
You know what I mean? Even profit, it was a couple $100,000, but
yeah.
But it was like a lot more sales. According to what you were saying, that like you were talking about your friend, like.
So like I have a friend who's like got a company set up, and he's had all tax advice from accountants, and their general advice to him is that once you get over around 85k, which is the current VAT threshold, again, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, you need an accountant. That's when you're more likely to be audited, especially when you're drop shipping, because you'll have low margins. If you're telling the government, I sold £100,000 worth of products this year, but I only made 10k profit to be taxed on, that's going to look dodgy, because most businesses have bigger margins than that.
Right.
So they're going to think you're hiding some of your profit. Why are you making so much, taking so much money in, but then only paying taxes on such a little amount? So you're more likely to be flagged to be audited from what he said, which would make sense.
Yeah. So. And
if you're not in the UK, so you're selling internationally into the UK market, you have to be VAT registered straight away. And some people might think, well, I'm just going to break the law and not do it. eBay will say to you, where's your VAT number? What's your business? Like, they'll ask you for that information, because they know you're not in the UK from your address. You have to display your business address. They're going to ask you for your VAT number as soon as you start selling, which is what's happened to another one of my friends, and he had to stop selling in the UK because he wasn't VAT registered.
Yeah. So, so again, I didn't come on this to give like tax advice. I just hope that some of you guys, I hope that some of you guys who watch this video just understand that, like, in any business, that's one of the expenses, right? A fucking accountant.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, like for me in the beginning, I didn't need an accountant because I understood a lot of what's going on, and it was not complicated. But once I started making like even more than $5,000 a month, it was important to get an accountant.
Yeah, and if you don't understand taxes, and you can't get your head around it, you don't know enough about taxes, and you don't want to hire an accountant, then you're not mature enough to run a business.
Yeah, and even if like for instance, when I didn't know where to go with the accountant wise thing, I just messaged one of my friends who I went to college with, who I knew was an accountant, and she gave me for some of the basic information and then led me in the right direction, right?
Yeah.
So you don't just want to bury your head in the sand and hope the shit goes away, because the government ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
Like
and you can literally go to prison for not paying taxes, and you can't say, oh, I didn't know I had to pay taxes.
Yeah.
They're not going to accept that as an excuse.
Like I was talking with Matt, right? The Amazon guy. And so we have a common friend who like gave up his US citizenship and lives in the US to not pay taxes, right?
How do you
like I don't that's a story for another day, right? But like one thing that we both reference is like a couple of years ago, there was this girl who like gave up her citizenship. She cited all these fucking constitutional reasons why she shouldn't pay taxes. And you know what the federal government did? Put in a fucking madhouse. And they're like, bitch, we don't want you going telling people not to pay us taxes. How the fuck are y'all gonna get roads and shit? Yeah. So go to the fucking madhouse. Fuck jail. You're fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So just like, don't try to not pay taxes. What is on my jersey? Bow tie and both ties are cool. No, I just saw it in the camera and I was like, what is this? Yeah, so just try not to skip taxes, and let's not talk about this anymore. Have a good one, guys. Love you. Traveling will make that money. Look in the description for Becky's channel and all the free shit later.